Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Atlanta Thrashers franchise mode here in NHL 21. So in last episode we took on the Tampa Bay Lightning in the first round of the playoffs, and unfortunately we got swept, but it was mainly because we ran into a very good team in Tampa, because they were like 10 more wins than us during the regular season. But it was a very tough task for our team to play against the Tampa Bay Lightning, because if we go back to our matchup with them, you can see game 1 we lost 5-2, game 2 we lost 4-1, then we lost 5-2, then we lost 5-3. We just could not contain their offensive level, and our defense was not that great in that series. We didn't do a horrible job offensively, but we still got outscored. Like if we combine every single game, we got outscored like 19 to like 5-8. I think 19-8 final. My math could be wrong, but we got outscored a lot. And yeah, that was the main reason we lost. The only good thing I think about this last season is, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, our HL team I think lost in the finals. So at least that means that we are on the right foot in terms of being a really good team, I think, in terms of like just prospect development and all that type of stuff. So anyways, we have the draft in this episode in the Resign stage, so it should be a pretty short episode by comparison to some of the other episodes I've posted recently where they're like 40 minutes long. I don't know why they're so long, but whatever. So anyways, before we get into the draft, we do have one comment to go over, and that's from HawksFan88. He says, tough way to end the season. For the draft, I would just take whoever you think is the best player available, since I don't think you're really missing anything in the ways of prospects, which is pretty true, because if we look at our entire contract situation right now, if we go to like left wingers that we have in the NHL, those are all our NHL left wingers. We go into in the system, we got some really good left wingers, especially Cleary and Ivanov, I would say. And then if we go to like center prospects, Klinge could even potentially be in the NHL lineup, but I don't know if I'll ever do that, because he was here a few years ago. Right wing wise, we do got some prospects, like Wolski played a little bit last season. We got Hillen, so pretty good depth there. And then defensively, we even got some good depth, obviously, because Gugnaut is there, Edmonds is still there. And then there's also a lot of other guys that have potential, but might not reach that potential. And then goalie-wise, we do still have Robbins, who I will try and get back for the AHL, but Lapierre is there, which is good. And then Pinot might not probably make it, but still. So we do have a pretty good prospect pool at the moment. And also, these guys have been developing pretty well, too, so anyways, let's get into this draft. We have no idea what we're gonna get at this draft, because I don't know. Did I look at draft class last episode? I think I did, but still, we probably won't get anything huge in this draft. I don't even know. We might get a top 6 forward. We might get a top 4 defenseman, as long as it's something that could help us out. So let's get into this draft, see what we could grab. And then we'll get into the Resign stage, which we're probably going to bring back most of everybody on the team. And yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to do. So let's get into this draft, see what we can pick up. So LA's got 1, Chicago 2, Islanders 3, Florida 4, and Phoenix 5. Interesting. We are all the way up here at number 18. Lucky number 18. Let's see what we can do. So LA at number 1. Is going to take Nina Mackey, who's a 79 overall two-way defenseman. Let's take a look at this dude. He's got really good shot power, but he's more of a defensively minded two-way defender. But that's still a good pickup for LA. That's almost like a Drew Doughty type of player, I guess you could say, for now. Going on to second overall is Chicago is going to take Dembski, who's another two-way defenseman. Pretty much like the same type of build, it looks like, as Nina Mackey is, so it should be interesting to see who becomes the better defenseman out of the two of those guys. Islanders at number 3 are going to take Lotz, who's a 74 medium elite power forward. So looks like this draft class might be really low in terms of overall ratings, but this guy still has really good potential. But he's not NHL ready, and he just went 3rd overall. I mean, I think for some reason though that the Islanders will probably use him in their lineup, but I'm not sure. This guy still could be really good though. Florida at number 4 is going to take a 78 two-way forward in Straight. Interesting. I think the Islanders made the good choice though to take a power forward over a two-way forward, because the power forward is probably going to be a future goal scorer that wins like a bunch of like Richards and whatnot, at least based on his shooting categories. And then Phoenix at number 5 is going to take Froats, who's a defensive defenseman, 76, medium elite. Interesting. I guess that's good for them because they probably need defense. Let's sim to our pick at number 18. See what we could grab. So the scouts recommending us Felipe Chiodu, who we don't really know anything about, but he does look like he could be pretty good. So Chiodu might be the option, and I do think we could use always center prospects, because like center prospects, at least they could win faceoffs. If he's not a good faceoff man, he could always play wing. And this guy's like probably a power forward based on his size, 6'5", 208. So Chiodo might not be a bad option. There's also Marchand, but he doesn't look as good. He's probably a top 4 defenseman though. Reed Stillman doesn't look terrible as well. He's probably top 4. There's a guaranteed top 6 in Lars Lindgren. There's also Lysak, and there's also Pispinen. It looks pretty good based on his shooting. That's interesting. Pispinen might be intriguing, but I don't know. Like, I kind of want to take what the scout recommends us, but at the same time, I'm kind of worried about what the scout recommends us. Because, like, you can't really trust any of that at all. Like, this guy could be, like, a random medium elite power forward, but I think this guy's probably top 6 power forward. Like, this guy's almost like, I guess you could say, like, Quinton Byfield, just based on his size and playing for Sudbury. But, like, yeah, you can't really say anything's accurate, except for he's a really good in his defensive zone. He's got really good balance because of his size. But you can't tell that he's good at everything else. I think I gotta go with Pispinen because of that A- shooting. And then he's also got good puck skills and senses. But then you look at his skating and his physical and defense, he's not that good. But he might have won, like his scout rank, he might be 15th, which means we would get a steal. I don't really have a lot of time left to make my choice. I think I gotta go with Pispinen. Like, Chiodu might be good, or he might be the better option, but I honestly have no idea for sure if he is. So we're gonna take Pasi Pispinen from JYP and see how good he is. He's a top 6 sniper, 65 overall. It's pretty good. Yeah, this guy could definitely be a shooter of the future. Yeah, he has some good shooting stats, and that's pretty much it at the moment. Rest of his stats really need work. His skating's actually not as bad as it was saying. I would say at least it's like 2.5 stars. It's not terrible. But he does need to work on everything else. Interesting. I hope that other guy, though, wasn't as good. Let's take a look. Marchand goes next. He's a 65 top 4. Chiodo was a 64 two-way forward, so he's a little bit worse than Pispinen. I think we made the right choice then. Let's sim to our next pick, which is all the way in the 4th round, I think. Yep, 4th round. We don't have a lot of picks just because of the Camilleri trade. Di Nicola is okay. Maybe Di Nicola would be the best option, but he is 19. But we do have a lot of older, over-aged kind of guys in this area. I might go Di Nicola. Andre Klesla. Maybe a low elite sniper, probably not. Or if he is, he's probably a really low overall. Is this guy actually going to be an AHL top 2 defenseman? Yeah, this draft might not be that good at this stage, but I think we're going to go with James Di Nicola. Just because he could play center and left wing, and this guy's got leadership ability too, so maybe he's actually a good captain for the future, I don't know. But yeah, we're going to take him just because he looks the most intriguing to me, to be honest. And he's a low top 9, 59 overall playmaker. I wouldn't say that's a horrible pick, because some low top 9s actually pan out. Especially in this franchise mode, and this guy's decently well-rounded. His physical is horrible, though. So he's going to get bodied by a lot of players, but not too bad, I would say. Not a win, not a loss, but probably in between. On to our 5th round pick now. I don't even really know what we're going to be able to get. There's potentially a low elite power forward, so we might give a chance to Brad Moore. It does say a 3-year ETA, so he's got a high overall. He is 20 years old already, though, which is a little bit problematic. Bancroft is a goalie. I don't really think I want to draft another goalie. Lacouture, 4 years away. I think I gotta go with the potential lowly, but he's probably gonna be a low top 6 or something. But you know, he's 20 years old, might as well take him. Brad Moore, welcome to Atlanta, and he's a low top 9, 63 grinder. Interesting. If he ends up actually making the NHL as a grinder and being like a bottom 6 player for us, I think that's definitely a win. But right now, his stats all around are not terrible. Like, he needs to definitely work on his puck skills and senses, but as a grinder, I don't think he's gonna get much better at that. But his shooting category has good power, but not accuracy. And in his physical, obviously, he's pretty good because he's a grinder. His skating's not terrible. And then his defensive stats aren't terrible yet. They're kind of average, except for the face-offs. So, yeah, Brad Moore's not too bad, I would say. Good starting overall, but it does suck that he's already 20 years old. That's the only problem with that. On to their 6th round pick, and then we have our 7th round pick, and then that is the draft already. I don't really know what to go with because we don't have really any info on any of these guys. Greg Bancroft looks actually pretty intriguing. He's got good character and work ethic. You can't go wrong with that. But this guy is 20 years old. But he's probably got good shooting and puck skills. Or he could have good shooting and puck skills. Let me just see if there's any low leads potentially. Let me just see if there's any steals in here. Doesn't really look like it. Maybe this dude? Probably not. Yeah, I don't really trust those later round guys, to be honest. I think I might go with Bancroft. Yeah, because we could probably always use more wingers. So let's go with Greg Bancroft, even though he's another 20-year-old. Might as well give him an opportunity. He's another low top 9 playmaker. I wouldn't say terrible either, because who knows, low top 9s might make it. He's also got really good passing already to an extent. Like 78 passing for a 20-year-old is not bad, especially with that potential. And let's sim to our last pick of the draft in the 7th round, see what we could grab. There's maybe a medium top 4. Scouts are recommending it to us. Character, work ethic, and shot blocking. This guy's also 20 though. 4 years away. I don't really see any better options, to be honest. Preston Peters, what a name. Yeah, there doesn't really look to be much else. I'm kind of intrigued still about Bernard Millock because of his shooting and senses could be decent, but there's no guarantee. So I think we're going to just go with the recommended one by our scouts, which even though he's another 20-year-old, maybe he can make an impact at some point or be a good AHL defender. So Isaac Nielsen, welcome aboard. 7th D, 60 overall. He might end up being a 7th D in the NHL, but he'll be like 25 or 26 by then, I think. That's not a terrible pick, I guess. It's based on the overall, but he is 20, so. So that is our draft. We only get one really good player, and that's Pispin, and the rest of them are kind of average, and Dino Cola, Moore, Bancroft, and Nielsen. So that's our draft. Not a lot to write home about because we didn't have our 2nd or 3rd because of the Camilleri deal, but whatever. Let's re-sign our AHL head coach just because that AHL team just went to the finals. So let's give him a little bit more. AHL head coach. Perfect. And also we need to get back a scout. I need to make sure I always get back these scouts because I keep losing scouts in my like Detroit franchise mode, and it's gonna come back to bite me probably in terms of the draft. So okay, so that's good. Now we get into the re-sign stage. I don't think we have any huge contracts up for renewal, but we do have 50 out of 50 contracts, which means any guy that's like up for renewal, or so any of these new undrafted or drafted guys, some of them can't get contracts unless we let go of players. So let's start off with the RFA wise. So Kuznetsov, I could give you 5 years at 5 if you want. Let's knock you down to $5 million. 5 by 5 is fine for me because he actually played pretty good this season. Houghton only wants 2 years. I could probably give you 2 years. Yeah, I could give you 2 years. I honestly don't really care what I give these guys because we don't have max cap stuff. Connolly, 4 years. Yeah, I could do that. 4 years at 4.65. Ivanov is probably going to be in the NHL next year. We'll just give him what he wants. Easton Hillen. He also wants a one-way deal, but I don't mind doing that. And then the rest of these guys could pretty much be qualified. At least I think. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get back all those younger guys, or get any of those younger guys that we drafted into the system unless I let go of some of these dudes. Some of these guys are actually, it's probably the UFAs we could probably let go of that are from the AHL. So we'll disqualify all those up. And goalie wise, I'll just give Jackson Robbins what he wants, if he wants to. And yeah, we'll qualify these other two. That's good. Go to UFA wise, let's go to the bottom of this list. So we can't technically give any of these guys contracts unless we let go of players, I think. But let me give contracts to who I want first. So Isaiah Edmonds, he wants a one-way deal. I could give you a one-way deal, but I don't know if you're going to be in our lineup. Maybe as a depth defender. I think we're going to let go of Mateo Klinge. I know it's a little bit weird to let go of a 25-year-old top 6 forward, but this guy's been kind of not utilized as much in the last few years, and ever since we acquired him, really, we haven't utilized him that well. So I think he deserves to go to free agency. So best of luck, Klinge. And then I think we got to let go of some of these other veterans like Brzgalov, just to make room for younger guys. So Brzgalov, you're gone. And yeah, we're going to also let go of Baikov. And I think we're going to let go of Breland too. Which is a little bit weird because those guys are probably our best AHL players, but we do got to make room for these younger guys. So we'll give contracts to these 70 overall players, 70 plus overalls, just because they are good prospects. And in the rest of these guys, I could always sign guys like Lermour and stuff like that, but I don't really have the roster space, I don't think. So I'm going to leave them for now, but I probably will have to let them go. I'm thinking we let go of Frolov. Yeah, I think we gotta let go of Frolov, unfortunately. Like, if we let Ivanov play, then Frolov would be, like, scratched or something. Let me take actually a quick look at what we got for our roster. So, at the moment, sort by overall-wise. So, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, we don't go to sort. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I would rather Volsky play over Frolov, I think. Yeah, I think I'm going to let go of Frolov. Just because he's not as good defensively and whatnot. But he is not that bad offensively, but I think I'm going to let him go. Yeah, I don't even think he's a good fit for this team, really, but I don't know. I'm kind of skeptical about letting him go. Like, he could always be a depth forward for us. So, what does he want for 1 year? You know what? I think I could sign him back for maybe 1 year as a depth option. Maybe we trade him if need be. And that's that. Goalie-wise, we don't have any goalie UFAs, which is good. Let's advance today, see if we get all those guys back. And then we will see who we did not get back. So, Isaiah Edmonds still needs a contract. And then RFA-wise, all those guys are qualified, which is good. So Isaiah Edmonds, 1 year. I'll just give you a little bit more. I think we should try and use Isaiah Edmonds because he's got good offensive stats, I believe. Yeah, he's got some pretty solid offensive stats, so we should probably utilize him to an extent. And yeah, all these guys are qualified. But I could just give them all one-way deals if they want to, but I don't know. I think all these guys want one-way deals, right? Yeah, they all want one-way deals. So yeah, I think I'll just leave them all qualified for now. But technically that means 37 contracts. If we get Edmonds back, that's 38. And if we get all these guys back, it's 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, and then that means somebody like Pino's on the way out, or I don't know, one of these guys might be gone actually. So yeah, we have too much contracts, which means we cannot sign any of these UFA drafted guys, unfortunately. Even though some of them were like 3rd round picks. Like, I can redo our entire AHL, but I gotta let these guys walk. Yeah, I'm gonna let these guys all walk, unfortunately, which really sucks because they all have potential. but it's something we have to do right now unless we want to get rid of some AHL players, which we could always do at next point, but I don't know. So there you go, let go of all those guys, which is a lot of draft picks into the free agency. And yeah, we just gotta wait on Edmonds, and then the rest of those RFAs could hold out for a little bit probably. Yep, there you go, Edmonds is signed, we are good to go. So what do we got for our roster going into the next episode? That way we could take a look at what we could potentially sign for free agents. So we got, let's see, actually left wing wise, we got, let's see, that's 6 left wingers that could be all in the NHL lineup, maybe even Cleary. So let's say 7 right there, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then if we go right wingers, 14, 15, 16, 17. We have way too much NHL ready players, so I think we don't need a forward. And then defensively, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're pretty much ready on defense as well, and goaltending wise, so we might not actually need anything free agency wise. Unless you guys want me to make trades to bolster our team a bit, because we are still a little bit weak on the defensive front. And a little bit weak in terms of right wingers. Like, we could always trade away wingers on the other side, like on left wing wise. Like, we could get rid of Likachev so Ivanov could play on his left side. That type of thing. I don't know. So anyways, I don't think we really need anything for free agency, but we will still take a look at what's available for free agents. We did not get our scout back. Apparently she signs in Columbus because we don't have enough budget. Interesting. Let's take a look at what is available for free agents as well as the trading block. And then I think that'll be pretty much it for this episode. So free agency wise, not that we really need anything, but let's take a look at what's available for UFAs. So the best UFA available is Nico Kapanen, it looks like. Actually not. No, it's Saku Koivu. Interesting. So Koivu, Prospol, Robitaille, Fisher. Yeah, there's some really good centers available if we wanted to take a look at a center. There's another guy that just got dropped off via the LA Kings, who just keep letting go of a lot of players that they draft. So there's these centers. Eric Lindros is even there. Interesting. If we go to left wingers, Alex Tanga is the best left winger. There's also Kavu Sari, who we just played, I think, in the playoffs, didn't we? Yeah, we just played this guy in the playoffs in Tampa Bay. Yeah, this guy was really good too. Kavu Sari would be really intriguing, but he only fits our penalty kill. But there is a lot of options out there for free agent signings if we actually want to get rid of any roster players and sign free agents instead. Right wing wise, the best right winger is Zednik. A lot of former Habs players, it looks like, on the right wing side. Interesting, a high top 9 in Punovs. Second round pick of the Oilers. Let's go to defense. Defensively, there's Chris Phillips is the best defenseman. Brian Allen. Whoever this Gonchar dude is, Pavel Gonchar. Interesting, drafted by the Penguins. Interesting. A lowly defenseman in Eriksson. Mikhail Eriksson. We don't really need to sign defensemen because we have a lot of them in the system, but I don't know, we could always sign one if we wanted. That's pretty much that. And goalie wise, the best goalies is Spruev, who left Chicago, I think. Yeah, this guy was horrible in Chicago, but Chicago's been a terrible team in this franchise mode so far. So there's also Backstrom, Ray Emery, Dan Blackburn, Ryan Miller, Koltsov, who's a 22-year-old that's 82 overall. That's pretty good. Not that we need a third string goalie at that overall. Yeah, it's pretty much that. And let's take a quick look at what's available on the trading block, and then that'll be it for this episode. Just in case we want to make trades again. But we might not need to with the way our roster is set up. But we might have to actually trade away players that could be NHL ready, or we just play them in the AHL. But there's like guys like Scott Gomez available. Scott Hannon as well, Mike Johnson. What else we got here? Some prospects. It's not really a whole lot of stuff available, but if we still want to make any trades, we can. Some good defenders in Colorado. I don't know why Colorado wants to get rid of so many defenders. Patrick Laleem's available. Couple picks there. Marek Zelinsky, also a defenseman in Europe. Some really good defenders in Europe. and they're not on horrible deals. A lot of players seem to have 1 year left on their deals in this free agency, or yeah, free agency area. Talinder, Dupuis, Morozov, a good mix of players in Minnesota. Some of them might have been Stanley Cup champions because they did win at one point, I'm pretty sure, when they had like Patrick Waugh. New York Islanders, picks. Rangers have picks. Some defensemen in Ottawa. Good mix of stuff in Philadelphia. In Phoenix as well, there's picks. Yeah, pretty much picks on most of these teams. Some good pieces in Tampa Bay. Chris Drury, Joseph Vasek. I guess Tampa Bay doesn't think they're going to make the playoffs next year, even though they did beat us. It'd be interesting to take one of their good pieces because Tampa's been a really good team for multiple years. Layman in Toronto. Vancouver's got picks. Washington's got picks, and that is it. And I think that's pretty much all I wanted to do. Let me actually take a look at our contracts for next season, like who's up for renewal next year. Kovalchuk needs a new contract this next. Yeah, we're gonna give Kovalchuk probably an 8-year deal. But Kovalchuk's gonna need a contract. Camilleri's gonna need a contract next year. There's some decent pieces that need contracts for next offseason. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Atlanta Thrashers franchise mode. So next episode, we'll take it to free agency. And we'll also start up the season simulation. And hopefully this team could, well, we'll probably definitely make the playoffs. But hopefully we can make it past the first round again this year. Because we made the conference finals 2 years ago. So let me know what you guys think down below. And I'll see you guys next time.